Welcome, Scorpio and Scorpio cross watchers, to your singles and new love reading for April 2023. So we're going to get where you are, where you're headed, what you need to know, and then the next love interest doesn't mean that you want them. It just means that they're the next romantic interest for you for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. I can never quite find a nice way to say that, like, you might not be interested in them, so I just kind of stumbled there. I apologize. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and that your weekend is shaping up to be a good one. We have the King of Swords here. Oh, you know what? I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I kind of have been, I feel like I've been looking forward to doing your reading all day. And I'm not entirely sure why. Like, I kept feeling like I want to skip through the rest of the signs. And I'm not really sure why. Interesting. So with this combination here for where you are and where you're headed, I feel like you may be wanting to, it's almost like you're really enjoying the phase that you're in. I feel like the next phase or where you're headed, it's not that you won't enjoy it. It just feels like it's less fun. And that's not to say that you won't have fun, right? It just feels like there's a certain innocence in this fun, right? But this other one, it almost feels a bit jaded. You know what? It feels like you're really in your Scorpio energy here. And I feel like something changes. And it almost feels like you end up, you kind of can't or have to like put some of that in your back pocket. It's almost like you can't be in all your scorpionic glory for some reason. It's almost like if you think you're bored now, wait. Because I feel like with whatever's going on here, it just feels like you're going to kind of wish that you could go back to this King of Swords energy. What's, we have the Knight of Wands. I'm going to be honest. I feel like there's somebody here that kind of encourages you to make an impulsive decision. If it's not that they've encouraged you, it's just they made an impulsive decision and it seemed, I almost want to say, like a little bit wild, a little bit crazy, a little bit adventurous, a little bit fun, you know what I mean? And you're kind of like, oh, that looks like a good time. And I feel like it ends up putting you in a place where you feel like you have to be defensive. It's almost like it seems to put you up on somebody's radar and you have to behave extra good or something like that. It's that kind of an energy. So what do you need to know? I'm just going to make sure we didn't miss anything. We got the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles here. So what do you need to know? You might not want to hear this, but I actually feel like there was no way around this happening. I feel like whether you chose this or not, or whether you kind of had that kind of adventurous experience or made that impulsive decision, I actually feel like you would have gotten to the King of Cups energy regardless. I feel like there may be times where you're almost like kind of doubting yourself, thinking you should have done it differently, you should have done it this way, you should have done it that way, and it's like, are you shitting all over yourself? And from what I'm seeing, it's almost like you'll end up seeing, once you get to the King of, it's like as the lead up to the King of Cups, it's almost like you're doing something, you're kind of like, oh, you know what, this is not going to work out, this is not going to be good, I don't think I should be doing this type deal. But it's almost like you're in it, I want to say, like you seem to be enjoying it to a certain extent that you don't want to let it go. And then you get there and you're kind of like, oh, Why? And there's this message here that you would have come to this place at some point or another. It feels unavoidable. It's almost like, for those of you that kind of subscribe to that, the soul tie sort of energetic thing, I feel like there is a soul tie to somebody here and they seem impatient, bossy, controlling, um, a little bit demanding, condescending. And I know I'm really painting a pretty picture for you here. um, but it just feels like this person, it's almost like they're drawing you in for you to bounce back out. And I don't really understand that. I'm going to be honest. It's almost like in encountering this person that is all of those things, when you're in this energy, it's like it's a good, healthy reminder to not let yourself get to that place, even if you are feeling a bit either like melancholic or bored or whatever, right? It just feels like it's this really fresh reminder about what it looks like if you take that path too far. Because I feel like this person gets stuck in it, and I feel like you knew them when they were a very different kind of person, and it's like, and now they've become so rigid that I feel like, number one, you're glad they're not in your life in a more permanent way. And number two, I feel like you end up being really glad that you didn't get involved with this person. I feel like you end up making a different decision. I do want to say there may be something here where you make a decision in order to avoid turning out like this person. And I feel like you actually may end up feeling like life would have been easier if you had not made it the decision in that way. If that makes sense. I hope it makes sense because it's a bit confusing for me. So, sorry, I'm just going to write this down. Just writing down the time, it's just a lot easier to upload later. So, for those of you with your sun in Scorpio, we have the Chariot, which of course is that Cancer card. I don't really like this person. And it's almost like they have that kind of like bad boy, bad girl, bad person, not bad person that way, but I apologize. I'm not sure how to properly say the pronoun in that sense, so I apologize. If you are comfortable doing so, please leave it in the comments. If you'd like to email me, that would be great too. I just don't know what it is or how to, what is appropriate. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I feel like this person is somebody that may come in with that kind of like that energy, but I feel like they would stab you in the back the second you turn around. Like there's just something, this doesn't always look threatening, but today it does. Today it 100% does. And I feel like this person, it's like they may lean on the light side of them. You know what I mean? They may stay there, but I feel like they can just as quickly push themselves over to the other side and kind of pull out whatever sword that is. I actually feel like it might be a drum, like one of the drumsticks, like, you know what? Can't believe I just did that. It just feels like very threatening today. And I don't really know why. I apologize. I do feel that this person is in a rush. It's like they'll come in, give you an offer, and they're rushing so much that it's like there's all this dust behind them, right? It's like they were tearing down the street on this motorcycle trying to get to you. They get there, and it's almost like they seem to have this vision or assumption that that they're the best thing or the best looking thing or the most attractive, most, physically attractive, that kind of physical chemistry sort of thing since baked bread. And they do seem to have the type of attitude that if you don't scoop them up, somebody else will. And I feel like this isn't the kind of person that's going to sit around and wait, of course. It also feels like this isn't the kind of person that is actually going to care if you say no. I feel like they're just going to go on about their merry way. And I feel like you may be feeling sometimes like, oh, that might have been this or that. No, it wouldn't. You know what? I can pull another card, but no. From what I'm seeing, I feel like this person would have put you further into this energy where you felt like you made a mistake by going towards them. Three of Cups. Whoops. 3, 2, 1, right? With the Two of Swords and the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I think this person is duplicitous. I think they would have more than one person. The Three of Cups is supposed to be about celebration. To me as a reader, it just always means there's just too many people. There's too many people involved. It's a little bit messy. And I feel like with this person, they are kind of looking to add notches to their bedpost rather than looking to truly invest in people. It's almost like as soon as the social boost that they would get from being with you wears off, you know what I mean? As soon as they stop getting attention because they have you, I feel like this person would be right out the door. And I feel like they would find a way to blame you for it. I'm going to be honest. Not trying to be mean to this person, but they sound like if you were looking for something non-committal and just fun and let's just, enjoy each other's company while you're around, and when you're gone, that's fine, then that's great. But I feel like this person seems to misrepresent themselves to you on purpose. It's like they try to come in and pretend that they want a relationship to get what they want out of you because they think that's what you want. So, Scorpio Moon. Excuse me, I seem to be coming down with a cold. So we have the Nine of Swords here, reversed with the Hermit at the bottom of the deck. I feel like somebody seems to have something that they want to say to you, and I feel it seems like a very passionate message. Not passionate like physical chemistry kind of passionate. It just feels like it would be a very fiery message coming through. I feel like this person has finally gotten out of their head. It's almost like this person may have been frustrated with themselves for like not making a move on you soon enough or something. And it's like, and by the time they come in, I'm just going to get some cream. Hold on for a second. It's like, instead of asking you, hey, do you want to go on a date? It's like they're so frustrated with themselves for taking too long, and they're just kind of in a rush that it's almost like they just kind of yell it to you out of frustration with their own need to wait, right? Like, do you want to go on a date with me? Like, it just feels very, how do I say this? It's almost like the message itself, the words itself, and the meaning behind it seem to be very sweet, seem to be very like, towards you, but I feel like towards themselves, they're just so frustrated with themselves that it comes across as a little bit aggressive. And you know what's interesting is that I feel like because they seem that way, because they kind of come across with that kind of like, what is going on here sort of energy, I feel like you may not have given them the time of day if they came in without some of those complications, without seeming so complex. And it's almost like there's something about them that seems like it would be a welcome reprieve from what's been going on with you. And you're kind of like, yeah, okay. I feel like this person, it's almost like you'll say, yeah, okay. And they'll be like, great, I'll pick you up at 9. And they kind of storm off. And I feel like people might be looking at you like, what? What? And what's really interesting is I feel like you would just kind of be like, it's almost like, why not? But I feel like internally you're like, if you're somebody that feels that they are continually meeting the same person just in different representations, you know what I'm saying? The fact that this person is different, it's almost like on that fact alone, you'll at least just kind of like go out with them once or spend a little bit of time with them or get to know them a little bit. You know what I mean? And like, and take it from there. And if it ends up that it's not really somebody, sorry, that wasn't enough cream. If it ends up that it's not really somebody that you want to be with, then fine. But I feel like you seem to see the situation as if you didn't, that you would kind of always wonder, you know what I mean? You need to get to know them a little better to know. I also feel that this person seems to be a bit of a hermit with this hermit at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like if you've been with people that were extroverts or always, it's like even if they didn't want to go out, I feel like they wanted people to come to them. Like let's say the two of you are living together. You're not crazy about people in people in your space. But they would either have people come or it's like, or people would come after they go, you know what I mean? It just feels like there was too many people around. And with this person, it just feels like you're looking for somebody more like you. And I feel like that's also seems to be why you're kind of willing to give this a chance. So I'm just going to write the time down here. So for those of you with a Scorpio rising, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed with the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. All right. So I feel like you end up seeing this person as not really being capable of being with you. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, I feel like you see this person as somebody that isn't... Let me put it to you this way. I'm going to say it about myself because I'm not trying to pass judgment on any of you just because you're Scorpios, okay? We're not going to do that today. For me personally, sometimes I can be a lot, right? Sometimes I can get a little bit fiery. I have a lot of Sag and a Leo rising, and sometimes I have a tendency to react instead of responding if I'm not, paying attention. And not everybody can handle that, right? There are people that maybe have quieter or a little, like people that kind of just don't get as fired up about stuff, which is not a bad thing. It's something I'm working on developing, right? But my reaction to things it would just be too much for some people, right? And I feel like with this person, it's almost like they may seem like they're a bit too much, and that in and of itself wouldn't really put you off. But I feel like the fact that they're not willing to work on it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's something about this person that it's almost like they'll vehemently deny that there's anything that they have to improve. Meanwhile, you're literally the embodiment of constant transformation. And this person is over here like, no, I don't have to change. I'm good just the way I am. I don't have to make myself better for anybody. And I feel like you're over here like, oh, no, that's not going to work. Not going to work. And it's almost like it feels, what I'm picking up from you is you feel like there isn't even really a point to kind of getting into the reason as to why you say no or why you're kind of not interested in this person, because it feels for some reason it's like you just don't want to educate this person on themselves. You know what I mean? It's almost this energy of like, for once in your life, you'd like people to see things without you having to point them out to them. You know what I mean? It's that kind of an energy. It was a strange thing to say. I'm going to be honest. It just kind of feels like you may be feeling in that hermity energy. And I feel like this person isn't really, the Three of Pentacles is about putting the work in and working together with somebody, but it's reversed. So I just kind of feel like this person, there's something about you that also kind of tells them that, like, the two of you, it's like they may be kind of like cracking jokes or trying to have a conversation with you. And it's like you're just not feeling it. You know what I mean? It's like whatever jokes they're cracking, they're not really funny to you. It's like they're trying to be funny, but they're hitting these kind of like these weak spots in your armor, and you're not impressed, right? I feel like generally speaking, you're just not really impressed with this person. And I feel like they may be somebody that makes fun of other people and is very critical of other people, but isn't willing to be critical of themselves. And I feel like that feels like hypocrisy to you, and you're not. It's like you're not about that. You know what I mean? So for those of you with your Venus in Scorpio. Ooh. Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups here. And I feel like when this offer comes in, it's almost this energy of you looking at it being like, holy shiz. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up from you. It's almost like you may be looking at it wondering if it's something that you'll be able to handle, in that it's like, because this person seems very genuine, it seems very authentic and loving and kind. It is the initial stage, right? It's just the offer. You would have to reach out and grab it, of course, because it is the ace. But I feel like you're not so sure you want to grab it. It feels like, and it's not from a place of fear. It's almost like, here comes this person or this offer in, and it gets here, and you're over here like, I'm not so sure I even want that, like somebody to come in right now. And I feel like you kind of can't say no to the opportunity. And it feels like that's because you'll kick yourself later. Even if it doesn't work out, it's like you just kind of have to take the jump. You just kind of have to at least explore it further. I feel like there was another, it was the Scorpio Moon with the Nine of Swords. You may want to, it was the same type of energy of somebody that it's like very, very intriguing to you, but there's something about this person that makes you feel like you can put your walls down, but not in a way that they've manipulated you into doing it, because, I mean, you are a Scorpio after all, right? I don't know how they think they'd manipulate. Anyway. It feels like this is somebody that you really feel like you can trust. There's something about their approach. I do want to say, I want to invite you to consider not rushing into anything with this person. It does feel like there's something hidden. I feel like there's something about this person that you don't know, that other people don't know. It's like there's few select people that do know. I feel like it's something, I feel like they're very insecure about it. And I feel like that's why they're not honest and kind of like forthright, whatever. They're not forthcoming with that information. And I feel like it does seem to make you hold on to what you have a little bit, not in a defensive way, but just in a like, yes, I see you offering me that cup. But I feel like there is a touch of, it's almost like you may want to be a little bit suspicious of them, not because of any other reason, but that it's almost like part of it seems too good to be true. But I feel like you kind of just need to see, is what I'm picking up from you. I think we're just going to pull a quick advice card here. Just feeling which deck to use. Can we get some advice for Scorpio Venus? So we have the Sun upright. We have the Fool, Queen of Swords, and the Magician all reversed. So it's actually going to be like this. For some reason, I feel like even if, and this doesn't necessarily mean that this is the message in the cards, okay? But it feels like even if I said right now, do not get involved with this person, I feel like you would anyway. And not because like, you know, you're not, it's not for any other, like you're not trying to be rebellious or stick it to something. It's nothing kind of superficial like that. It just feels like you're so drawn to this person. There's something about them that it's almost like you're the king and they're the ace. You know what I'm saying? It's like one is the end, one is the beginning, right? And I feel like there's something about them that you seem to really admire. There's something that's very bold about them that you seem to really appreciate. And I feel like you do take things cautiously slow, but still faster than you normally would. And I feel like that seems to speak to more the energetics of you kind of wanting to fall for this person. And that's not to say that you'll fall right away, right? The cards have already said that you'll take it. You still will take it slow. Just not as slow as you normally would. And I feel like you're more enthusiastic about this person and this opportunity than you would be normally. I do feel that there's this message here. I feel like both of you are kind of blocking out some information about yourselves right now, which is kind of making me giggle a little bit to myself. Because it feels like you're blocking me on purpose, which of course is your prerogative, right? But I feel like this person it's almost like the reason they're blocking is, it's like, I almost want to say, you know the purpose that you're blocking. They're blocking because they feel led to. Hold on for a second here. So I feel like you're just not going to be rushing. You know, what's that saying? Fools rush in, right? That's not going to be what's happening here. But again, you will not be as closed off to this person as even you would expect. And I feel it's almost like you're sliding down a hill, like a mudslide. Like, oh, I didn't manifest this. I didn't manifest this. This isn't what was. And I feel like there's this message here that I almost want to say, like, maybe you didn't plan to manifest this new love here. But I feel like your energy is or was a match to it. At least the offer. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know, if this person turns out to be a real heel, that doesn't mean you're a heel and you attracted that in, okay? It feels like you pulled in some sort of offer. It's almost like they couldn't get it out of their head. They couldn't stop thinking about it. And it seems to be, hold on for a second. I feel like that may be where there's a bit of this disparity between like what you know to be true about human behavior and how this person acts. And I feel like that when you see that, that will really help you to allow this relationship to unfurl at a pace that you're comfortable with, if you choose to do so in the first place. So Scorpio, I think I'll leave it there. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. If the reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. If you're new here, welcome. I upload reads on Sundays and Thursdays for all 12 zodiac signs. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Much love. Bye.